You clicked on this video, and that's no accident. Right now, in this exact moment, something inside you knows that change is coming. You can feel it, can't you? That electricity in the air, that sense that everything you've been working toward is about to shift into something bigger than you ever imagined. I'm not here to give you empty promises or spiritual fluff. What I'm about to share with you comes from years of studying energy patterns, watching how the universe operates, and witnessing the exact signs that appear right before someone's life transforms completely. And if you're here, if this video found its way to you today, then you're already displaying every single one of those signs. Let me tell you something that most people don't understand about how the universe works. It doesn't send blessings randomly. It doesn't just pick names out of a hat and decide who gets the breakthrough and who doesn't. The universe operates on frequencies, on energy signatures, and right now, your energy signature is broadcasting something very specific. You're broadcasting readiness, you're broadcasting alignment, and most importantly, you're broadcasting that you've passed the tests that most people never even recognize they're taking. But here's what's really wild about this moment. The blessing that's coming your way isn't just some external reward that gets handed to you. It's not a lottery ticket or a surprise inheritance, though those things can certainly be part of it. What's happening is much more profound than that. You're about to step into a version of yourself that you've been preparing for your entire life, even when you didn't realize you were preparing. Think about the last few months of your life. Have you noticed how certain patterns have been dissolving? How that relationships used to drain you have naturally faded away? How opportunities that once excited you now feel too small for who you're becoming? That's not coincidence. That's clearing. The universe has been systematically removing everything from your life that won't be able to match the frequency of where you're going. Most people fight this clearing process. They hold on to the old stuff, the familiar patterns, the comfortable limitations, because at least they know what to expect, but not you. You've been letting go, even when it felt scary, even when you couldn't see what was coming next, even when everyone around you thought you were crazy for walking away from things that looked good on paper but felt wrong in your soul. And that's exactly why you're here right now, reading these words, feeling this recognition in your chest, because you've been choosing truth over comfort. You've been choosing authenticity over approval. You've been choosing growth over stagnation, even when growth meant standing alone for a while. Here's something that will blow your mind about timing. The blessing that's coming isn't actually new. It's been there all along, waiting for you to develop the capacity to receive it. Think of it like this. Imagine you've been living in a house with a vault in the basement, but you never had the combination. You always knew something valuable was down there, but you couldn't access it. The universe has been teaching you the combination through every experience you've had, every challenge you've overcome, every moment you chose love over fear. And now, finally, you have all the numbers. You just don't realize it yet. The first sign that a major blessing is about to manifest in your life is that you stop looking for signs. I know that sounds backwards, but stay with me. When you're truly aligned with what's coming, when you're operating from that deep inner knowing, you don't need external validation anymore. You're not checking your horoscope every morning or asking for signs from the universe because you've become so connected to your own inner guidance that you just know. Have you noticed that lately you're less anxious about the future? That even though you might not have all the details figured out, there's this underlying sense that everything is working out exactly as it should. That's not denial or positive thinking. That's alignment. That's your energy signature matching the frequency of your incoming blessing. The second sign is that your relationship with time has completely shifted. You're no longer in a rush to force things to happen. You're not pushing and striving and trying to make outcomes occur through sheer willpower. Instead, you've learned the art of inspired action. You move when it feels right to move, and you rest when it feels right to rest. You've stopped trying to control the timing because you trust the timing. This is huge because most people never learn this. They spend their entire lives either racing ahead of divine timing or lagging behind it, and then they wonder why their manifestations feel forced, or why their dreams never quite materialize the way they envision them. But you've learned to dance with the rhythm of the universe, and that's when the magic really starts flowing. The third sign is perhaps the most important one, and it's something that happens so subtly that most people miss it entirely. Your desires have evolved. The things you used to chase, they used to want, the goals feel different now. Not worse, just different, like you've outgrown them. What you desire now is deeper, more authentic, more aligned with who you really are, rather than who you thought you were supposed to be. Maybe you used to want success that looked impressive to other people, and now you want success that feels meaningful to your soul. Maybe you used to want relationships that met your needs, and now you want relationships that celebrate your growth. Maybe you used to want security that came from external sources, and now you want the kind of inner stability that nobody can take away from you. This evolution of desire isn't random, it's preparation. The universe has been refining your wants, purifying your intentions, making sure that when the blessing arrives, it will be something that truly serves your highest good, and not just your ego's agenda. And here's where it gets really interesting. The blessing that's coming your way is bigger than what you've been asking for. Not bigger, but bigger in ways in the way you might think you haven't even considered yet. It's going to touch every area of your life, creating ripple effects that extend far beyond your personal world. You're about to become someone who doesn't just receive blessings, but someone who becomes a blessing to others. And that's the real shift that's happening right now. You're not just moving into abundance for your own sake. You're moving into a role as a conduit, as someone who can hold and channel this higher frequency energy for the benefit of everyone around you. But let me tell you what this actually looks like in practical terms, because spiritual concepts without real-world application are just pretty ideas. The blessing that's coming is going to show up as increased synchronicities. Not the forced kind where you're desperately looking for meaning in every license plate and clock time, but the effortless kind where the right people appear at exactly the right moments, where conversations happen that change everything, where opportunities present themselves in ways that feel almost too perfect to be real. You'll notice that problems start solving themselves. That thing you've been struggling with for months suddenly has an obvious solution. That person who's been difficult suddenly becomes cooperative. That financial situation that seemed impossible suddenly has a pathway forward that you never saw before. Your intuition is about to become razor sharp. You'll know things without knowing how you know them. You'll get hunches that turn out to be exactly right. You'll feel drawn to take certain actions that don't make logical sense in the moment, but later reveal themselves to be perfectly timed, moves that set up everything else. And here's something most people don't realize about how universal blessings work. They compound. Once you receive one and integrate it properly, it creates the foundation for the next one. And then the next one. It's like interest earning interest, except instead of money, it's alignment earning more alignment, joy earning more joy, purpose earning more purpose. The fourth sign that your blessing is imminent is that you've stopped trying to figure out the how. You know what you want, you know it's coming, but you've released the need to control exactly how it manifests. This is mastery level stuff right here. Most people get so attached to their specific vision of how things should unfold that they actually block the very thing they're trying to create. But you've learned something that puts you in the top 1% of manifestors. You've learned to hold the what and the why with absolute certainty while staying completely flexible about the how. This level of trust in the universe's intelligence is rare, and it's exactly what creates the space for miracles to occur. Your energy has shifted from wanting to knowing, from hoping to expecting, from maybe to absolutely. And that shift in your internal reality is what's creating the shift in your external circumstances. The universe doesn't respond to what you say you want. It responds to what you actually believe you deserve and expect to receive. And right now, your expectation level is higher than it's ever been. Not because you're being unrealistic, but because you've finally aligned with the truth of who you are and what you came here to experience. The fifth sign is that you're experiencing what I call divine discontent. You're no longer satisfied with mediocrity in any area of your life, not because you're being picky or demanding, but because your standards have naturally elevated to match your new frequency. You can't tolerate energy vampires anymore. You can't pretend to be interested in superficial conversations anymore. You can't fake enthusiasm for things that don't light you up anymore. This isn't about becoming difficult or high maintenance. This is about honoring the truth of what you've become. And what you've become is someone whose energy is too valuable to waste on anything that doesn't align with your highest path. The people around you have probably noticed this shift, even if they can't articulate what's different about you. Some of them love it and feel inspired by your new level of authenticity. Others feel challenged by it because your presence is reflecting back to them the areas where they're still settling for less than they deserve. Either way, you're no longer responsible for managing other people's reactions to your growth. Your job is to stay true to this new frequency you've accessed and let the universe rearrange your external world to match your internal transformation. The sixth sign is that you're feeling called to share something. Whether it's your story, your gifts, your perspective, or your presence, there's an urge to contribute in ways that felt too scary or too big before. This isn't ego wanting attention. This is soul recognizing that you've been prepared for something and the preparation phase is coming to an end. You might not know exactly what form this sharing will take, but you feel the pull, you feel the readiness, you feel the responsibility that comes with having received so much growth and insight, and that feeling is correct. Part of your blessing involves becoming a blessing to others. Part of your abundance involves creating abundance for others. Part of your freedom involves helping others find their own liberation. The universe has been preparing you not just to receive, but to give from a place of overflow rather than depletion, to serve from a place of joy rather than obligation, to lead from a place of authenticity rather than authority. So if you're recognizing yourself in everything I've just shared, if there's something deep inside you that's been nodding along with every word, then you already know what I know. You're not the same person who started watching this video. You're the person who was always meant to emerge at this exact moment in time. The blessing isn't coming because you've done everything perfectly. It's coming because you finally learned to trust the process, even when you couldn't see the destination. You've developed the capacity to hold the frequency of what you're becoming, and that's what makes all the difference. Your recognition of these signs isn't the beginning of your transformation. It's the confirmation that your transformation is complete, and now you're ready to step into the reality that's been waiting for you all along. The universe doesn't make mistakes with timing, and it definitely didn't make a mistake with you. Everything you've been through, every challenge that seemed impossible, every moment you had to choose faith over fear, it was all preparing you for this moment, for this recognition, for this blessing that's about to unfold in ways that will surprise even you. The only thing left to do now is receive it, not with desperation or attachment, but with the quiet confidence of someone who finally understands their worth. You're ready. The universe knows you're ready, and that's why you found this video today. Welcome to your new beginning.